Hi everyone, Hayley Anderson here from the Canadian Cricut crew. I've been asked how to view the fonts you have in your system, and I know there's a bunch of different applications out there that you can use. I'm going to take you through how to use the one that I use, which is called Print My Font. So you can simply Google for it. You can see I already have it there. I'm just going to hit enter. And these are my top two choices, but if you have them in a different order, that's okay. You do want to look for the one that's called sttmedia.com Print My Fonts. And if you have the ability to click this download link, then click that one first. So it's going to take us to their website. It has all of the information about it. Scroll down until you find the download. This is not it, guys. Do not click on anything in the middle here. That's not what you're looking for. Down here, when you're finding your download, it's going to say Print My Font for Windows, or down here we have Print My Font for Mac. Don't click any of these things in the middle. You simply click the Print My Font for your Windows or your Mac, and it's going to download it. You may see that download in your browser. Down here at the bottom, I can see it. If you don't see it in your browser, you will be able to find it in the download files of your computer, laptop, whatever it is. So if you see it in your browser, just click it there. It's going to open up. If you don't see it in your browser and you're looking for it, you're going to find it right here under your downloads. Once you find it, you're going to double click it in here. I'm not going to double click it because I have already installed it on my computer, but if you double click it, it's just going to install that program. Once you install it, you'll be able to find it on your desktop. This is what it looks like. So you can simply double click it here, and it's going to open up, and it's going to show all of the fonts you have installed on your system. So I can see that I have 418 fonts installed on my system. For those of you who know me, you know that I have like 2,500 fonts. I do not suggest installing all of your fonts on your system if you have a lot, because it's just going to bog down your computer. And I used to have all of my fonts installed and it was horrendous. Everything was slow. The world was slow. It was awful. So only install what your computer can hold. If I don't find the font that I'm looking for here, I can always look through my other files and see if I need to install a new font. If you are installing a font, make sure that Design Space is closed, because it's not going to end up in Design Space unless it's installed and Design Space is closed. If you forget and Design Space is open, that's okay. Just close it again and then reopen it, and the font will be there. Now, I don't want to see what this looks like that says example text. What I want to know is, what is my text going to look like in all of those different fonts? So right here where it says example text, you want to type in the text that you want. So now it's changed all of these fonts to show Hayley Anderson. And you can see all of these fonts, and there's quite a few, and they all have my name. Let's go back to that really thick one. So if you keep typing in here, it's going to keep showing you. But as you can see, if it goes beyond that screen, like that Black Oak STD font, then you're just not going to see beyond. So we're going to see all of the ones that we can see and the ones that go beyond, because they're a very wide font. We just will only see up until the end of that screen. So you go through here, you decide which font it is you want to use. I am going to look for a nice scripted font like this. So I am going to use Hayley font. Now I'm going to go to Design Space, and I'm going to type in the text that I want to use. So I'm on a new project. I'm going to hit text. I'm going to type in my name. By default, Design Space uses Cricut Sans as my font. it's not the font I want to use, so I can simply click the drop down. Now the options that you have available to you here are you can use all, which is all of your system fonts and all of the Cricut fonts. If you are a Cricut Access member, absolutely leave it on all. That'll give you all the fonts you installed, but it'll also give you all of the fonts available on Cricut. And the big benefit of this is you have the ability to use any of these fonts without downloading them to your computer. So that means that you're not going to have that bogged down slowness of your computer that I spoke about earlier, but you'll still have all of the extra Cricut fonts. If you are not a Cricut Access subscriber, you will have to pay to use these fonts. So my suggestion is use System. Now it's only going to show you the fonts that you actually physically have installed on your laptop or computer. The other thing you need to consider is this only kerned fonts piece. So kerned fonts are the fonts that attach when they're scripted fonts. So I know that you guys know some of the fonts that are available to you when you type out the word in scripting, it doesn't attach those letters. So you have to ungroup all of those letters and move them close together so that they're attaching. This is a great enhancement from Cricut, is to allow you to choose only kerned fonts. So the ones that automatically attach on their own. This is almost always my choice because I really hate having to ungroup them and then line them up so that they're attached and still straight. I'm what they call straight and paired, so I have a hard time making anything straight. And so having only kerned fonts works really well for me. But because I am looking for a specific font, I don't know if it is a kerned font, so I'm just going to deselect that. And I'm going to type in Hayley, and then I'm just going to hit the magnifying glass. And you can see I only have one. If I had typed in something like hearts, I probably would have had multiple fonts come up. Now you simply select the font that's come up. Let's see if it's a kerned font. It is. So that's great. Let me change the color to a lighter color just so I can show you something. Okay, so it's a kerned font, which means that it is, all of the letters are close enough that they're overlapping. But I do want to point out, you see these little lines between each of the letters? If I was to cut this right now, it would cut those lines. So although they are overlapping, they are going to be cut as individual letters, and definitely not what I want to do. So if you find that you have a kerned font, you still need to hit weld. So you're going to select it and hit weld. And what that does is it completely overlaps everything. And you see I lost the circle in the E and the circle in the D. So what I want to do is I want to unweld those. It means that they're a little bit too close. And I'm guessing the N is a little bit too far to the D and the L is a little too far to the E. So I am going to have to ungroup these. And I won't have to move the individual letters, but I'm going to grab up until the E and just move that over a smidge. And then I'm going to grab up into the D and move that over a smidge. And now I'm going to weld those. And let's see if that makes a difference. And there we go. So much better now. We still have the D and the E with their holes in the middle. And there you go. You've now learned how to find what fonts you have installed in your system. You've learned how to ungroup. You've learned how to move things around so that you don't lose those holes. And you've learned how to weld. If you guys have anything you want to learn, you have any questions, please reach out. Have a great day.